I'm Aaliyah Gayfield. I'm a finance major, marketing minor. I graduated May 2017.
I'm Pietro Caneo. I'm an economics and finance double major, and I graduated in spring 2017.
My name is Jacob Bird. I am a finance major, and I graduated in May 2017.
My name is Sydney Hickman. I'm a finance major with a management minor, and I graduate in spring 2017.
My name is Jackson Taylor. I'm a finance and accounting double major, and I'm graduating in May of 17.
Jackson, what would you say is the highlight of your Eagles on Wall Street experience?
I would say Mr. Doug DeShield came in and saw us. He was the chief investment officer for AIG, and they really just packed the room with high-ranking officials. They really made us feel special. They gave us a full handout of who's going to be there, how to reach them, their position within the firm. So I think that just them really reaching out to us and showing us that we were, a special group to them, and Mr. DeShield being there definitely was a high point, because just his role within the company and everything that he's worked through, and for him to share his experiences is pretty cool.
Great. Pietro, in what ways has Eagles on Wall Street benefited you personally?
So I was actually able to stay in touch with one of the people that we met at lunch. It was a great way to network with him, and he really guided me how going about recruitment and how to prepare myself for interviews and what kind of material I would be asked. And at the end, I was actually able to land an internship from that conversation.
Great. Sydney, do you have any advice to those considering, or maybe those not considering enrolling in the course?
I do. When I was thinking about enrolling for the course, I actually had no idea who was going to be going on the trip. I also didn't know anybody once the class started who was going on the trip. But I learned that when you do go on Eagles on Wall Street, it becomes almost like a family. Everybody becomes your best friend, and just the camaraderie that you have with everybody is amazing. So if anybody's doubting going on this trip because they don't know anybody, I would definitely suggest them just to jump in and do it, because it's going to be amazing.
Great. Jacob, do you have anything to add?
One thing, if you're thinking about taking the class and you already have like a full semester of 15 hours or so, any class that you add, past 15 hours, you don't pay tuition on. So it's a great thing to think about. You don't go to class every week, so it's not like you're taking a harder workload. It's just you're basically not having to pay tuition on Eagles on Wall Street, and you're getting a trip out of just the fees from that little section.
Thank you.
I'd like to add something. You also get to build a relationship with your professors if you take it in the fall, the spring, and you're coming back your senior year. You have that relationship with your professors, so when you start their classes, you already know each other, and it's kind of easier to go into the course.
And also, piggybacking what Sydney said, I knew only a couple people before the trip, and now since returning, I've been in contact with Sydney, Jacob, even Aaliyah. So you make friends and you keep friends. So it's a great way to network and to go on a trip with your friends. So.
Aaliyah, what makes Eagles on Wall Street a unique experience versus the normal finance curriculum?
Like Jacob mentioned earlier, you start later in the semester, so you have that leniency to get your other coursework finished, and you also get to go to New York and experience different things besides just being on Wall Street, and just having the opportunity to meet people in the profession that you want to be in is awesome, because you get to make those connections, and you get that experience that you wouldn't get just sitting in the classroom and learning it by the textbook. You get to hear people's real life experience.
I also thought it was cool because while in New York, we actually saw a few alumni who graduated from Georgia Southern. So you're not only seeing people that made it to New York, but you're seeing people who made it from Statesboro to New York, which you won't see in a classroom. You only see it when you actually visit a firm.
And you got to experience New York City outside of meeting with firms. So that was a good, went to a Yankees game. So, boat ride.
Did you learn anything about yourself from a career perspective as a result of Eagles on Wall Street?
So one thing that I learned is I like the legal side of finance, and so we went to EOWS, and through that interaction with their compliance office, I decided that I really like compliance. It kind of reassured that for me. So I think that's kind of the area that I want to go into when I graduate.
I think it gave you the opportunity to see if this was actually something that you want to do as a career, which is good, because you can take it your junior year and see like, hey, do I really want to do this? And if not, you can kind of change your pace instead of it being too late and you're already in the industry and you're like, oh, I hate it. And just being able to talk to them was good to get insight on how their day-to-day goes. And you really have to have thick skin to work on Wall Street.
I would just say that if you're interested in any part of finance, try to go on this trip because there's so many different possibilities within the finance industry. So you really get a good knowledge of a lot of those kind of different routes that you can go. So it's a good experience.
I think my main takeaway was that I was able to see what the path is to get where I want to be. And it was really important for me to talk to people from different backgrounds that all ended up at the same place and see that there's not necessarily a straight path to where you want to be, and you never know where you're going to end up as long as you work hard.
Do you have anything else to add?
I would just say that the experience in New York City outside the firm visits was fantastic. It's definitely a lot different from Statesboro and even Atlanta if you're from Atlanta. We were able to see a Yankees game. We met with some of the Georgia Southern alumni outside the firm visits, so that was really cool. And yeah, it was great.
And it's not like you're holding hands with your professors the whole time. You actually, well, we would finish some days around 1 o'clock. You can go do whatever you want to do in New York City. So some people could go to Broadway shows, some chose to just explore the city, some went on the Brooklyn Bridge. You really make up your own decisions about where you want to go and what you want to do.
And it was definitely a kind of like a culture change for all of us because it's a little slow pace down here in Statesboro. And we had to pick up the pace in New York. Everyone's like, come on, we just standing on the sidewalk, just being tourists and learning the bus system. I mean, the train system was definitely interesting.